Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. We are talking about Safety Month here at the resorts of Vail and Beaver Creek, and it's actually throughout all the national ski and snowboard areas. So focus on that throughout your day and throughout the month, but we actually focus on it every single day throughout our season. Joining us now, we have Chris Rogers, and he is the manager of training at the Vail and Ski and Snowboard Schools. So of course, you're working with your instructors. Safety, fun, and learning is basically your motto, and I like that safety is number one.
Absolutely, yeah. We want to make sure everyone's safe so that they can have a fun time, so that they can learn something.
Yes, and that's the thing. You know, once you get through the safety codes and they are printed on the trail map, you can go beyond that. And we started talking about defensive driving. This is defensive skiing and riding, and you have 8 tips.
Right. So so we kind of started from the sense that you have your rules of your road. We have our responsibility code, and then there's like the learned behaviors and skills that help you avoid a collision, help you stay safe on the mountain. So we've turned them the 8 secrets of defensive skiing and snowboarding. And the first one is just to stay alert. We want everyone to be alert of their surroundings, that you're paying attention to what's happening around you. The second one is stay focused. And this one's really about intentionally skiing and snowboarding. There's a lot going on the mountain. There's changing conditions. There's people around you. There's all sorts of stuff going on in your head. Stay focused is about, I am intentionally skiing and snowboarding right now. I'm moving from point A to point B. I'm doing X, Y, or Z right now, and really staying focused on that.
That's kind of like being in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about that and how
right.
to prevent accidents that way.
Absolutely. And there's actually a recent study that says when you look at your cell phone when you're driving, you're distracted for about 27 seconds. That's how long it takes our brain to re-engage in the task at hand. And it's the same thing if we're thinking about the epic burger we're about to have for lunch, right? We're distracted from what we're doing right now in the moment. And that's where somebody cuts you off, you don't see them, and you have that collision. We want to try to help people avoid that.
Yeah, and you can have a lot of those conversations on the chairlift. Hey, where are we going to eat? What time? Instead of like yelling back at your buddy, hey, what are we doing? That's when it usually happens,
exactly.
when you're not looking in the right direction.
Right. Our third one is scan your surroundings, and this one gets to the same sense when you're driving, that you're checking your mirrors, you're looking ahead of you. On skis and snowboards, we have blind spots, so making sure to check our blind spots and look where we're going, that we look over our shoulder before we make a turn, that we're paying attention to what other users on the mountain are doing.
I try to do that a lot, especially if you're the merging is happening, and if you're supposed to yield, make sure you're doing that. Or even if all of a sudden there's a lot of skiers and riders at one point on the slope, maybe hang back a little bit, let them all go, scan those surroundings, and then you have a little more breathing room for you and your group.
Exactly, and that goes right into the fourth one, which is watch out for others. And this is that sense that even if you're in the right of way, you don't want to have that accident with somebody. You know, we want to take care of ourselves first. So just like on the airplane safety video, they say to pull down your own oxygen mask before you put somebody else's on. We want to watch out for what other people are doing, but we want to take care of ourselves first and kind of assume that the people around you might make a bad decision, right? So protecting ourselves first.
And that ties in really well with the 7 codes of the responsibility code. The rider or skier below you has the right of way. Even
exactly.
if they make an erratic left turn or something, you still have to be a safe distance and a safe speed where you can avoid them.
Exactly, right. We want to protect ourselves. Everyone wants to have a great time out on snow. We want to help ourselves have fun and also help the people around us have fun. There's a lot of mountain out there. There's a lot of room, and we can just take it easy and have fun.
Yeah, I was coming from the top of Chair 8 going over to Chair 2. The Enchanted Forest is right there with the little kids, and a couple of little kids just beamed out of there. And I thought this kid was going to go one direction, and he kept on going into my line. So I was like, whoa, and I really had to hold back and make sure I didn't collide with him, because I would have been in the wrong because he's the downhill skier. Right.
It's one of the things you can do is kind of assume everyone's going to make the worst possible choice, and then make your decisions and your movements based around those worst possible scenarios. And it helps keep you safe.
All right, and I know that all the employees are thinking about safety, and they're even raffling or giving away some GoPros at the end of the month if you can recite the code to some of the mountain safety personnel.
Right, if you know the responsibility code, slide up to a yellow jacket on one of our mountain safety personnel and recite the code. You can be entered to win a GoPro.
Okay, that's 4 of the 8 defensive skiing and riding mechanisms. The next time Chris comes on the show, we'll talk about the other 8. But right now, let's take it up to Ken Hovey. He's going to let us know what's happening up on the mountain.